So if any of you have been around for a while, which if you have, I'm sorry you had to witness this, but in my early days of covering anime on the channel, I did videos where I was going through my anime list and just sort of reviewing them just one at a time, just going alphabetical order. I didn't do too many of those, thankfully. But also a couple years ago, I did a video where I did a tier list going through a bunch of anime where it was kind of like a speed run thing. So for this video, we're gonna kind of combine those two ideas, where I'm going to be going through my entire My Anime list, which I think has a total of like 400 some odd anime on here. And yeah, we're just gonna try to do this as quick as possible. For some of these things, I'm gonna try to keep it in like a sentence or less, but if I feel like talking about it more, then I will. Because a good amount of these I have talked about before, and of course there'll be playlists and everything above and below where you can watch me talk about specifics on these, be they romance anime or other miscellaneous ones. In some of these cases, I might just resort to saying they're either mid, shit, or decent, so we'll just get right into it because we've got a lot to get through. All right, Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Fights are good sometimes, most of the time, shit. Undead Unluck, haven't finished it yet. First half, pretty pog. Oshinoko, I cannot wait for season 2. Really good. Solid drama. Quintessential Quintuplets, fucking one of my top 10 romance anime of all time. That's season 1, 2 in the movie included, and the specials. 86, overrated as hell in my opinion. Then again, I haven't watched it in a long time. I'm open to revisiting it because I never finished season 2, but for me personally, didn't really like it that much. Yeah, some of these I'm just gonna skip because I just have no opinion on them really. Aheron wa Hakare, cute romance, kind of recommend it. Sing a Bit of Harmony, one of my most viewed reactions on the channel. Don't know why. Movie was fine. If it wasn't for that reaction, I would have forgotten about it by now. Snow White with the Red Hair, my first ever anime review. My opinion still stands though, overrated as hell, and I don't think it's that good of a romance. Akamega Kill, guilty pleasure. It is the pinnacle of I'm 14 and this is deep. Still holds a special place in my heart from that time in life. Akebi Sailor Uniform, animation had no reason to go that hard, and it was personally my vote for best animation of 2022. I kind of hope they make more of it because I actually really enjoyed it. Akira, phenomenal movie. Do I need to say anything else? Amagi Brilliant Park, I've forgotten about it by now. One of Kyoto's more interesting animations, I guess. Angel Beats, I keep forgetting I've watched this. One of the first ever anime reviews I did where it was like, I need to talk about this. Anohana, my opinion on it still stands from my review years ago. I think it's overrated. It's sad, sure, but that doesn't make a good story. Assassination Classroom, personally, I thought it was too long, but by the end, I found myself kind of tearing up for the characters. Aoharu Ride, or Blue Ride, I think that's what I translate to. One of the most banger opening songs. It's a song that I've been listening a lot more recently, so for that reason, I haven't forgotten it. But in terms of just the actual story, just a vanilla romance. Bakano, absolutely incredible. Amazing dub. I loved the time period it was set in. Banana Fish, I keep thinking about the music more than anything for this. I feel like it had something really good and it kind of just flubbed the ending. Black Lagoon, God, it's still one of my favorites of all time. One of the best dubs ever. Action, amazing. I pray for the day that this ever comes back, but at the same time, kind of say it with bated breath because it won't be the same. Blue Giant, I like saxophone. Music's fine. But speaking of music, Bocchi the Rock, still absolutely one of the best of this type of genre, like the band genre. I've delved into the manga a little bit, but not too far. I hope they make more. Erased started really strong, ended kind of mid. My Hero Academia, I cannot wait. Season 7's only a month away. Only. In my opinion, it's one of the best new age shonen. The fan base is one of the most cringe things ever conceived on this fucking earth. And while I'm a huge fan of the series, I try to separate myself from that crowd. It's a series that's had a huge impact on me and I love it tremendously. The Dangers in My Heart. Right now, it's probably my favorite romance anime and manga, and where season 2 currently ended was perfect in my opinion, and honestly I predicted that it would end there, but there's still so much left and the manga is still going. One of the most heartfelt and for me personally invested romance anime. Casshern Sins, I only ever watched it because I heard that Moist Critical apparently was going to cover it, and yet I don't think he ever did, at least I never saw, but it's one of those ones where it's so depressing I just kind of forgot about it after the fact. Chainsaw Man, I cannot wait for the Reese movie. I still haven't revisited season 1 since it really came out. I need to. I mean, I also need to just read the manga, but eventually. Chunibyo, I don't have any real strong opinions about Chunibyo. Season 1, really good. Again, I haven't revisited it in years. It's a Kyoto animation. It's a cute romance. Interesting take on it. Season 1's definitely better than season 2 and the rest of it. Citrus, my door into the Yuri anime genre. I remember I originally watched it and gave it a 10 out of 10. 10, but in recent times I've gone back and be like, no, we'll just give it a 7. A very ecchi but wholesome story at the same time. I don't know. Clanad, one of the shows that showed me that action isn't the only things that can spark intense emotions out of me. Clanad After Store will be something I never forget for both just romance and just tears that were shed. Code Geass. Now, it may be harsh looking at my scores. I've given both season 1 and 2 7 out of 10s, and the fucking movie I gave it 2 out of 10. It's really good, don't get me wrong, especially like those first couple episodes and obviously the ending. But I don't know, I'm open to doing like a full one-off review for Code Geass. Like I need to revisit it more. It's something I do still think about a lot, despite the score I gave it. Cowboy Bebop. I am planning to do videos on Cowboy Bebop. What specifically? You'll just have to wait and see. But it is still one of the best anime ever. And do I need to say more? Cyberpunk Edgerunners, the winner of Anime of the Year 2022. For good reason. It's an amazing one-off anime thing. I'm glad it never really set itself up for more. And it was an emotional roller coaster of a journey. And though the ending may be quote-unquote controversial to people, I thought it was perfect. Date Alive. As I'm recording this tomorrow, I'm pretty sure, Date Alive Season 5 is coming out. Obviously, Date Alive Season 4, one of the most successful reaction series here on the channel. And it's a series that is probably my biggest guilty pleasure because I know for a lot of people that they think it's shit and I can't exactly argue with them. But at the same time, I hold such a weird nostalgia and love for this series that I will never let go of. Season 5. Can't wait. Dead Man Wonderland. Holy crap. Talk about such flubbed potential. I went into it knowing that the second half was not nearly as good as the first half. And even though I got to the second half, I was still like, I feel like the whole thing was a mess. Great concept. Dub was actually pretty decent. And it's going to be something I forget about as soon as I'm done talking about it. Death Note, something I've never and never will forget about. To this day, still remains one of the best shows ever. Again, despite its ending, I still say even including the last couple episodes doesn't detract from it being a absolute masterpiece of a show. Devilman Crybaby, I watched this a couple days ago for the first time, and though I knew how it ended, getting to that point, it's an amazing experience just for animation and everything. I look at Devilman differently now. Do It Yourself, a show I never finished, but one that's kind of stuck with me just in terms of it being this type of genre. Again, I compared it a lot to a Peanuts cartoon. Despite it being several seasons since it last came out, I haven't really forgotten about it. Domestic Girlfriend. Despite my bias towards Garnt, aka Giguk, and his love for this series, I watched it and I was just like, I get it, but at the same time, I don't get it at all. It was such a slog to get through, but I did it for Garnt, and I will never do it again. Dorohedoro, God, I've completely forgotten about this show. A show that was overhyped for me, but the action and the CG wasn't too bad. Dororo, another show that was a really strong start, but I think its ending was kind of, nothing forgettable, but probably won't be thinking about it too much after this. Dragon Ball. What do I need to say at this point, man? The majority of the top 10 videos on my channel are Dragon Ball related videos. Obviously, rest in peace Toriyama Sensei. It is the show that inspired me and cultivated what we have here on the channel today with everything anime, and it shaped who I am and who I will be for the rest of time. Yeah, I have literally everything Dragon Ball related on here, good lord. Durarara. Pretty solid dub, just mainly because Crispin Freeman's in it, my favorite voice actor. I know there was a season 2, but I never really got into it just because season 1, just how it was fine. That was 24 episodes? I swear it was only 12. Elfen Lied. Watched this recently for the first time. Holy crap, that sucked. And I'm not talking about like emotionally it sucked. No, it was garbage. Why do people like this? I mean, I get why people like it because it is borderline hentai. But it's one of the ones that it was on like my scratch off poster thing. It's so shit. Why do people remember this fondly? Fire Force, fight wise and animation, and even music as well. Everything but the story and the characters, pretty solid. But I'll be honest, I thought it was boring. I found myself skimming through the majority of the fucking, 48 episodes of this? Eromanga Sensei, holy shit. Absolute most degen of degen. When you think Wincest, this is the first thing, aside from maybe Orimo, which by the way, they're in the same universe. Don't know if you knew that or wanted to know that. It's so trash, but at the same time, I've never forgotten it. The Evangelion Evangelion rebuilds. Thought they were good, not as good as the main show. If you've watched the original series, just skip the first movie because it's the same shit and just start with the second movie. The third and fourth movie are just insanity. Oh god, we're at the Fate stuff now. I don't want to talk about these like individually, even though they are sort of all their own thing. I'll just sort of do these quick. Fate Apocrypha, animation really good, rest is overrated. Last Encore, good luck understanding the story. Fate Grand Order, the Camelot stuff is actually really cool, I liked it. Babylon was way too long. Fate Khalid Liner, Prisma Ilia, one of the most underrated Fate things, even though it's just lollybait. It's not just lollybait. The movie, though, one of the best Fate things ever. Dean's Fate Stay Night, one of the worst things ever. But at the same time, I kind of want to rewatch it. It's not like Ufotable's ever gonna do their own version of it. Heaven's Feel, god damn, one of the best Ufotable products ever. Again, I'm proud to say that I watched Fate long before I ever watched Demon Slayer. So my love for Ufotable comes from that first. Unlimited Blade Works, I promise the reaction series coming. Eventually, gotta do ReZero first. But speaking of Zero, Fate Zero. I'm planning on like making this wall back here like a lot of the posters of anime and stuff that have been most influential on me. I need to get a Fate Zero one. Obviously I got like Vegeta, Dragon Ball, Fruits Basket. I have Pokemon even though I never really grew up on Pokemon, but I just really like this poster. Fate Zero, made a whole reaction series on it. Also have talked and praised it for years. My favorite anime of all time, aside from Dragon Ball. Fully Cully, I made a short on it. I know there's like the newer one, which I never really bothered with watching. The original one, I watched it and I was just like, god, they just were making shit back then and then attaching meaning to it later. It's still really good. I still give it a 10 out of 10. Fruits Basket, I mean, I need to not rewatch it from start to finish, but just sort of revisit it in some regard. I mean, it was my number one for romance anime. What started with Clannad was finished with Fruits Basket in terms of just emotional tears and everything. And oh man, it's one of my favorite shows ever. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. God, dude, this stretch of just 10 out of 10s right here. What hasn't been said about Full Metal, man? Is it still overtaken by Freyrin? Number 2. Oh my god, Freyrin's still pulling. God damn. It's been a long time in the making, but I will make a video on Brotherhood, but I want to do it right. It is, god, best shows ever. More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers, or Fufu Ijo Koibito Miman. I'm reading the manga right now. Honestly, I went into the show not expecting much from it, but the art style and the characters and the story, which is weird because it's like mostly just ecchi garbage, I liked it enough to continue with the manga, and where the manga is at right now, I'm really enjoying it. Fuka, overrated as hell. I think it's honestly dog shit. I don't even remember most of it. Asterisk War. Holy, this show is so fucking trash, but I love it. I watched this in the era when I was first getting into anime where I was just watching so much shit. Like, you know, most people, they get in anime, they watch a lot of the greats, you know, Death Note, Code Geass, Hunter x Hunter, One Piece, Naruto, like, you know, all that stuff. But no, I got into it and I watched dog shit. And that's why, like, some of my favorite shit still to this day is stuff like Date Alive. Gamers, it's honestly boring as hell, but I don't know, it kind of had some heart to it. Ganbare Doki-chan, I mean, I got into it for the obvious reasons. There's a good stretch here of stuff where it's shorts. It's short shows, which I kind of want to make a video about, like kind of covering a bunch of these shows that they had 12 episodes, but they were shorter. Ganbare Doki-chan and Tawawa on Monday as well. Tawawa on Monday is literally just every woman in the world has massive badonkers, and that's the story. God Eater, oh my god, a show that I completely did not even know till the very end was made by Ufotable. It was forgettable as hell. Golden Time, oh my god. Best romance anime ever. In my top 10 for a reason. Gungrave, I still think about this from time to time. It's in that same vein as like Trigun. It pretty much is Trigun, but more gruesome. The stuff that wasn't supernatural was the stuff I remember more fondly, like the mafia, like gang stuff. My first girlfriend is a gal. God damn, that's some quality ecchi trash that you absolutely should watch if you're into that type of stuff. Devil is a Part-Timer. Personally, though people were pulling for so long for it to get a season 2, and it finally did, and now it's getting a season 3. Season 1 was definitely way better than season 2 and everything else afterwards, but even still, I personally didn't think it was that good. Cells at Work, very educational. I had to watch it in English because so many of the words and terminology that were being said, I could not read them. I needed them said to me in my native language. Oh my god, Hellsing and Hellsing Ultimate. The original Hellsing has not aged that well. It honestly kind of sucks. What saves it is the dub and the fact that it's Crispin Freeman as Alucard, but holy shit, Hellsing Ultimate is some amazing gore-filled, just glorious, righteous bloodshed and amazing animation animation art. Arya the Scarlet. I kind of think about this every once in a while. Again, in that era where I watched a lot of just weird shit. It was decent. Definitely forgettable. Opening was pretty solid though. Higehiro. Did you ever see that like newspaper clipping of like some businessman in Japan who literally did this? You know, he took in a high school runaway. They literally showed the poster of this like right next to that. High School DxD. Is season 5 coming or not? I remember still being in high school when season 4 came out and we were still complaining about the art style change. And apparently there's rumor that they're sort of switching back to the old style, but kind of like a mixture of the two. High School DxD, a series that spawned a great awakening in me and many other young boys across the world. Both that and High School of the Dead, which are fittingly right next to each other. The pinnacles of ecchi, but also action show. It's stuff that I can't look at the same anymore, but it's stuff I'll never forget. Speaking of stuff I'll never forget, Harimia. A solid just one story, and from what I understand, there's not really anything else after it, especially since the missing pieces sort of filled in those missing pieces. Beautiful romance anime. Hyoka, don't think it needed to be 22 episodes. It was a really good, surprisingly hooking mystery and romance, even though the romance it wasn't really there, but more in the second half. It was enough to get my brain cogs to turning. Ichiran de Nagatoro-san. The manga has ended. I know that how it ends. I have seen the scene everywhere, but it's probably going to be a while before we get season 3, I imagine. Weirdly enough, it was like the first show that I started watching week to week in terms of like new stuff where I was just like, oh yeah, stuff still comes out that's good, I guess. My life is isekai-san stuff. We're just going to skip past that. Oh my god, Infinite Stratos, man. So shit. It's so shit. It's one of those ones where it's a harem that goes way too far. Because how many like girls are in it? Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. 5, 6, 7, 8. The most dense protagonist ever. I think he's the one who like spawned the meme. And oh my god, I really hope they never make more of that. One I watched recently, Isekai Oji-san, or Uncle from Another World. I've heard a lot about it. And then I watched it and I was just like, I don't really get it. I mean, I get it because like the tsundere elf in it, I enjoyed when she was actually on screen. I thought it was gonna be more of an isekai type show, but it's one where the uncle comes back to the normal world and he's just telling the stories for 13 episodes. Again, the elf girl was cute and that's about it. Another World of Best. Oh, this is what I mean when I say I don't like isekai. Unless it's ReZero and Konosuba. Or Eminence in Shadow, I guess. It's so trash. Like, season 2 came out and I was just like, you know what? Maybe we've been giving it too harsh of it. No, it's still shit. And it will continue to be shit. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I know season 2 is coming out. I honestly can't wait because this is actually a pretty fun story. A lot of weirdly rich lore and fun animation and an interesting romance plot. Hell's Paradise. A show I meant to make a review on when it was coming out, but I just completely forgot to do it. Just mainly because I was at AX at the time when the finale came out. I need to read the manga because I don't know when season 2 is coming because it's MAPPA and I didn't even know it was MAPPA. And a really good, just like solid island survival story. Fun supernatural and fights and stuff, and I really liked it. Actually, I am. What is this? God before Abraham. I am. The opening for this is actually really good. I still listen to it. Weirdly enough, it's the other way around where it's a dense female protagonist. And the second female protagonist is another blue-haired girl who always draws the short straw. Jujutsu Kaisen. Such solid, amazing animation art. Even though it's one of those ones where it's like, yeah, the first thing people will praise is the animation and the art, all the production side of things before the story and the characters, because how can you not? It's one where it's just every time something comes out, even though all that's come out is 2 seasons in a movie, I can't wait to see more of it. It's so good. Eminence in Shadow. I guess it's a guilty pleasure, even though I think most people watching it like it. Music's so good. The story, it takes just that OP protagonist and just does an amazing twist on it, and I love it. Kage-sama Love is War, fucking one of the best rom-coms specifically. I revisited it a little bit recently. God, dude, that show is just so good. When is there gonna be more? It needs to be this year, man, because 2022 we had season 3, 2023 we had the movie. This year's gotta be something. We can't have nothing. I need to see more because I know there's more. Maid-sama. I think I reviewed this pretty harshly when I last covered covered it. 26 episodes? Good lord, I never remember this shit being that long. Well, back then my attention span was better than what it is now. It's a decent romance. I would honestly like to revisit it in the dub, as I know that the main girl is voiced by Monica Rial. I know her reputation is a little nowadays, considering a very talented and amazing voice actor whose reputation she kind of ruined. Redo of a healer. I think I could do more of this. I'm surprised they haven't, because I think it's pretty popular, all things considered. It is one of those ones where it's just like, they should have just committed and just made it a hentai. Because yeah, I guess they couldn't have got away with having it be on streaming platforms, but I don't even think it was on any streaming platforms. I like how genres is action, adventure, drama, fantasy, and then erotica. The world God only knows. I hate what they did with season 3, man. I'll never get over that. The fact that they skipped so much and just decided, yeah, we're just gonna do this story. Why not? You don't need to know. The manga gets fucking crazy by the end of it, and I did actually really enjoy it. I liked the characters in it. And yeah, I hope that one day it maybe adapts the rest of it, but it probably won't. Girlfriend, it's a guilty pleasure. It's better Rent-a-Girlfriend, in my opinion, just without the renting part. Speaking of Rent-a-Girlfriend, I've made a video. I don't remember making it because I was kind of, gone. That's the only way I can ever talk about that show, is fucking when I'm drunk. It's so shit, but why can't I stop watching it? It's a weird study that needs to be done on myself. Teasing Master Takagi-san. I know that there's more. I think it's done, no? Like, I swear there was a movie or something that I think ended it. I don't know why I've rated it so low. It's really good. It's just, it's slower pace. I started watching it because I watched Nagatoro-san. I'm just like, this seems in the similar sort of vein, which it is. His and her circumstances. I watched this fairly recently. It's an older romance story, though I described Origairu as the Evangelion of romance. I mean, I take that back. This is definitely more the Evangelion of romance, just in how it's portrayed and done, in like the art style. And I'm gonna be honest, I got through like 12 episodes of it, and then I kind of just like through the rest. It was fun, it was cute, but slow. Dude, Shikamori is not just a cutie. I gotta read the manga for this. I think it was really good. I liked that concept of having a more sort of feminine male protagonist and his girlfriend who's like super rough but also cute at the same time. I hope they do more of this, man. Oh my god. Hensuki, are you willing to fall in love with a pervert as long as she's a cute? Oh my god, this show. It was so bad. It was so bad, but so funny at the same time. Kill la Kill. Kill la Kill's gone down a couple points for me over the years. After I first watched it, 10 out of 10. But as I've stood on it more, it's just like 8 out of 10 is fine. I still thought it was really solid, really good. Like, I rewatched it like a couple times after the first time. I think it's fucking phenomenal dub. Amazing music, stuff I'll never forget. Kimetsu no Yaiba. The Hashira training arc is coming out soon. I might react to it on the channel. I said the thing when I did season 3 that probably wait till it's done and then go through it, just because it's a show that I think works better when you binge it as opposed to watching it week to week. I still think Entertainment District arc was absolute peak. 100 Girlfriends, goddamn, it's quality romance, man. Your Name, I mean, amazing movie. What else needs to be said? Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Are they gonna make more of this? I hope they make more of it. Bro, the fights and action in this shit is like some of the best for no reason. Like, this isn't an action show, but yet the animation goes so hard. Like, bro, the Toru versus Elma fight in season 2 is a fight that I still come back to and watch. Bro, why did they make this go so hard? Silent Voice, I mean, there's no sense in comparing them, but Silent Voice and Your Name come up in the same conversation a lot of time. My personal opinion, I liked Silent Voice more than Your Name. Love After World Domination, I hope they do more of it. I've kind of forgotten about it, but the opening is a certified banger. I've rewatched like the first couple episodes fairly recently just because I was like, I like the concept of having, Romeo and Juliet, people on two different sides loving each other. Comey Can't Communicate. I actually rewatched this recently. Season 2, when, man? Netflix, come on. It is just such quality romance. I mean, just quality show. Like, there's like nothing about it I can really complain about, even though I give it an 8 out of 10. Can't really explain why. Konosuba, season 3 is coming out. I think it's already started coming out. Aside from ReZero, which doing this video I haven't finished yet. Solid isekai. So funny. Action goes hard. Characters are great. There's points where, in my opinion, kind of slow, but it's a fun take on isekai. Apothecary Diaries made a review recently. You like drugs? You like Imperial era China? Main girl's funny. Sky Wizards Academy. This lives in some weird compartment in the back of my subconscious. This show, there is nothing I can praise about it, other than the girls are kind of cute. But even then, there's nothing unique about them. But for some reason, I've never forgotten about it. What's these? Oh, yeah. Scum's Wish. It had a really good concept at the very beginning. This idea of two people who are in a relationship but they don't love each other. They love two other people, so they're just using them, each other, as sort of their vices, I guess, to feel love. By the end, it's like, you know, they actually learn to love each other for who they are. It was a very intimate show. I think that's the best way to describe it. But at the same time, the ending, it just kind of feels like, did I miss something? What happened? Licorice Recoil. I kind of hope they do more of this. Some cool action. It's John Wick, but it's high school girls, even though they're not in school. And it's a fun time, I think. Made in Abyss. Talk about a fun time. Oh my god, Made in Abyss. Easily one of the most traumatizing shows I've ever watched. But at the same time, kind of looking forward to see more of it because I want to see how much more fucked up they can get. Oh my god, this show. Irregular Magic High, bro. Now you may think I'm about to praise it, but no, this show is so shit. I think season 3 of this started recently. Oh my god, why does this have such a cult? I have a vivid memory of being at Anime Expo in 2022, waiting in line to get in, and people in front of me were talking about like different anime, and this came up, and they started being like, oh yeah, Regular Magic High is so good, and I just had to be like, everything from a production standpoint, animation, art, music, like I still like kind of listen to the soundtrack every once in a while, but dude, the characters are so fucking boring because every single one of them is OP as shit, so there's no threat or anything. Like the main character literally gets his head blown off at one point, just like, oh, rewind time. Oh my dude, my stepmom's daughter is my ex. Talk about something that kind of lives in the back of my subconscious for no reason. I kind of want to read this. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Ooh, Manaria Friends, or Mysteria Friends. This was a cute show, actually. A little bit of Yuri, but not, it doesn't really go all the way. I liked it for what it was. Oh, dude, Maoyu. The hero and the demon lord fall in love, except they don't, I think. I think that literally is like one episode where they talk about how they aren't in love with each other. They're friends, so I don't know. Masamune Kun's Revenge, dude. I want to see more, but at the same time, where season 2 ended, it's like, it's not his revenge anymore. It would just be Masamune Kun's life after revenge. Megalobox. The Nomad season 2 did kind of, for me, looking at Nomad, though it kind of, I guess, shits on the legacy that season 1 left. I don't know, it took a risk. I don't think it personally paid off all that well, but season 1, phenomenal dub. It's like, imagine Real Steel and like Hajime no Ippo. Ao-chan can't study. Oh man. So many of these just ecchi shows, man. It doesn't take much for me to get into stuff like that. I kind of want to visit it again. I don't know, it's a fun concept where it's this girl who's a daughter of like a doujin manga artist. Mirai Nikki, man. This and Akamega Kill. Pinnacle of I'm 14 and this is deep. But I don't know, man. I keep coming back to it. It's just because of the concept. I like a good death game tournament. Plus, obviously, Yuno Gasai is the face of yanderes. And this may sound weird. I think the dub is really good. I think that's the best way to watch it because Yuki's sub voice, I'm sorry, I hate it so much because he sounds like just a child, which he is, to be fair. Miru tights, bro. These girls wear tights. That's the show. It's one of those ones where the episodes are like 2 minutes long. Mob Psycho 100. People need to watch Mob Psycho, man. You'll get into it because you hear about the action and the animation, but you'll stay because of the phenomenal character writing. Again, dub is phenomenal. It's because Reagan's dub voice is so good. If his voice wasn't as good as it was, it wouldn't have been memorable, in my opinion. Monster. You know, in recent times, I keep looking at shows that have more than 20 episodes, and I'm just like, that's gonna be a bit of a commitment. But then I just need to remember that I got through Monster. I didn't want to get through Monster. Like, it's a 70 episode show, but I was just like enraptured in every fucking second of it. I never wanted it to end. I would have loved to have been 100 episodes. Such a good mystery, such horror, even some action. It's pinnacle. Monster Musume. Dub is good. That's the case for a lot of these. Like, that's how I watched stuff back in the day, was just dub. I didn't really give sub a chance. Shit, but good. Myriad Colors Phantom World. Holy shit. Start strong. It's not finished strong. I mean, I don't really know if it finishes strong because I didn't finish it. And I have no desire to finish it. Is Kyoto. I love Kyoto. Mushishi. This was a recent one for me as well. I haven't fully finished it yet. I just watched a couple episodes before bed, and it's just like, it's kind of like just a somber, it puts you in the right mood. I mean, I haven't really rushed to finish it just because I don't really like the format of having adventure or monster of the week type of shows where every episode operates on its own. I don't really like that. Like, I prefer a story that has like an overarching story and narrative. But this show is absolutely phenomenal and beautiful, and I absolutely recommend it. I'm really getting exposed for this. Why the hell are you here, teacher? You know what? I'm not even gonna explain myself or talk about it. This Mysterious Girlfriend X, and you never thought there was a girl online. Just look up images for yourself and you'll see why I watched it. No Game, No Life. At this point, don't give us a season 2. Do we even want it at this point? The thing that lives rent-free in my head still is like the last scene where he flips the coin and stops it between the tile. No origami, man. It's the popularity on this. Number 27. I get it, but at the same time, I don't get it. It's a I'm 14 and this is Deep show, and I watched it like within the last couple months just because, again, it's on the freaking scratch-off poster. It had me in the beginning. I mean, the first half, not gonna lie, but the rest of it, I just was skimming through. I'm just, good concept. I like the whole spirit angle thing, but it's boring. One Punch Man, phenomenal first season. Second season, good story, and they just dropped the ball with animation. It just goes to show, it's like, really all anime fans care about is animation and art, because season 2, I argue, has a better story than season 1, because I love Garo as a villain. People aren't gonna know it for that because like a lot of people just didn't even bother to watch season 2. I mean, honestly, just read the manga. Oh, One Room. It's another one of those ones where it's a collection of, it's not really a show because all the episodes are like 5 minutes long. This is the show that has this lolly girl that goes, do you want dinner, a bath, or watashi? It's surprisingly good. It's a POV show as well. It had very cute romance plots. Oni Mai, I'm not your sister. I'm so curious to see where this is gonna go because I want to read the manga for this. The show's animation and art had zero reason to be as good as it was, and I never thought gender bending would be as fun as it was. Orimo, we've made it. I'll never forget when I watched Eromanga Sensei and I got to like one of the last episodes and then the characters from this straight up just walk past and I'm just like, of course, it's an incest verse. It is so bad. The season where he dates one of the girls who's not his sister is fine, and I remember that more than anything. Ranking of Kings. Phenomenal dub. Boji is the GOAT. Boji and Kage. I don't really want to watch more because where season 1 ends, I kind of like it. Perfect Blue. I reacted to this movie during Halloween time. Pretty good. I need to watch more Satoshi-Kon. Chivalry of a Failed Knight. I want to do, honestly, like I did with Fate Zero, where I rewatch it with a reaction. Just because I can't even, with words, explain why I like this so much. It is trash. But there's something about it that I'll just never forget and always want to rewatch. Renai Bokun, Love Tyrant. A solid just a 12 episode romance. Again, really good dub. It's Death Note, but it's the Love Note. It's a show that it doesn't build up to it. You just go into the story. The story just starts, you know? There's no like build up. Oh, science fell in love, so I tried to prove it. I never finished season 2. I thought it was really sweet. I like the idea. Scientifically trying to prove your love. Oh my god, Akashic Records of Bastard Magic Instructor. Yep, that's the title. I thought I was paraphrasing. Oh, I want them to make more of this so badly, but they never will. This came out in 2017. That means I watched it like right after it came out. It's around the time when I watched it. Yeah, it's up there as a guilty pleasure. Dub, solid. That's how honestly I'll remember a lot of these shows, as if the dub was good or not. Because if I watched this sub, would have forgotten about it by now. But dub, Josh Girl is such a good voice actor. Rosario Vampire. So many people will say it's shit, but I will never say it's shit. I'll never admit it at least. Vampires, demons, wizard, and then just this guy who's just a normal dude. And it's a harem that I really enjoy. Sabakui Bisco. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the meme of the dude kissing the girl and pulling the worm out of her mouth. This is what that is from. That's some decent action. Sakura Trick. Some pretty strong, ecchi Yuri. Samurai Champloo. I had just finished Cowboy Bebop and I went right into this. It's just like the wombo combo of that. Phenomenal show. I'd love to revisit it at some point. Now with a more fleshed out anime lens. School Day. I want to make a video on School Days. It's such an enigma. I'll wait for its 17-year anniversary. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. The movie for this one still hasn't come out, right? Which is crazy because I saw the movie when I was at AX. So I've still just been one of the lucky few who have watched it. Because there's also like the He Does Not Dream of Knapsack Kid as well. Spirited Away. I still do plan on watching more of the Ghibli films. I talked about that when I did my reaction for it, that I'm going to be doing that on the channel. Because again, I've never watched any of the Ghibli films, but Spirited Away was a solid starting point. My senpai is annoying. This is a really cute show. I hope that more of it happens or comes out. Office Antics. Serial Experiments. Lane, dude. I've been meaning to do a review for this for the longest time. I kind of want to do like a skit for it. I want to film something for it. Like I have an idea, but I need to get like people for it and kind of schedule it. It's good, but if you watch it, you'll be so confused. Oh my god, this show. Helpful Fuck Senko-san. Dude, I remember when this came out. It was only 2019. I thought it was way longer ago. I watched this shit as it aired, man. I couldn't even tell you what the plot of it is, but that's some nostalgia. Your Lie in April. I mean, it's crybait. It's one of those ones where the ending of it, I don't feel like needed to go the way it did. I feel like it just went that way for the sake of being sad. Because I feel like the main dude already had enough development. I don't think they needed to add that extra trauma on top of it. Oh, Shimonetta. So, like, I've told the story about how I grew up on watching Dragon Ball and I guess Yu-Gi-Oh! And a little bit of Pokemon. And then there was a long gap in my life, pretty much from when I was a very young child to my late middle school, early high school life, where I was like, yeah, anime, why not? I saw clips specifically of a silver-haired girl doing things with her love nectar. Because, you know, by that time, I was familiar with hentai, but I was not really too familiar with other anime. And so I watched this, and yeah, Shimonetta was sort of, I guess, my awakening into the ecchi genre. Shinmai no Testament. The Testament of Sister New Devil. It's worst High School DxD. It's one of those ones where they should have just made this hentai and left it at that. That's all it is. There's nothing else to it. The original Evangelion, and I guess End of Eva as well. I watched it for the first time in the year of our Lord 2022, a show that came out in 1995. And yeah, Evangelion is one of the greatest shows ever. End of Eva, one of the most mind-fucking things I've ever watched. Sirius the Jaeger. It's a Netflix original show. The music's really good, and honestly, the fights in it I really liked, but I'll never revisit it ever. Kind of like Demon Slayer Light, but it's vampires. My dress up, darling. Season 2 when? Come on, Cloverworks. Surely you don't have that much going on. Heaven's Lost Property. The main dude's a pervert, and these angels come from heaven. I don't remember the rest. When will Ayamu make his move? The OP for this, certified hood banger. And I like the romance in it. It's really cute. I like the idea of just like, I will not confess to her until I beat her in a shogi game. Are you lost? So this show is 4 girls get stranded on an island, and this one girl is like the daughter of a survival expert, conveniently enough. And yeah, that's the show. Sosuno no Frieren. I have made a whole reaction to season 1 of Frieren. In terms of new age of anime, it's peak, man. I don't care what anyone says. 10 out of 10 masterpiece, ranked #1 on Mao. Does it deserve that? I don't personally think so, but you know what? I'm glad to see it getting recognized at least. 9.3 out of 10. Holy shit. Space Dandy. People aren't gonna like my opinion on this, because I know Space Dandy is very popular. It's from the same creator as Cowboy Bebop, and also Shampoo and all that, I'm pretty sure. I said before, I don't really like stories that are adventure of the week, where it's like each episode is its own story. Unfortunately, Space Dandy was one of those, which was sad, because I went into it expecting a lot, because, you know, I've heard so much about Space Dandy. I will say, everything about it. Animation, art, characters, music, it's something I'll never forget. But it's not exactly something I'll ever revisit, just because, again, I don't really like that type of story. Spy Family. Spy Family movie is coming out in a couple days, the Code White. I don't know if I'm gonna see it in theaters. I might just wait till it's on streaming. Spy Family, man, it's really fucking good. Star Wars Vision. Forgot that that's on here, because that is anime. Season 1, really good. Need to rewatch it. Decent, most of the episodes anyway. A lot of them you can skip. Steins Gate. Me watching Steins Gate in the year of our Lord 2023. What an adventure. I mean, it's one of those ones where the first half is a lot of setup until you get to that all-important episode. I think it's either 11 or 12, when shit finally kicks in. It's funny watching ReZero right now, which is a Groundhog Day story, which also Steins Gate is. Getting stuck in a Groundhog Day type of thing, which is like, how do you not go insane, man. Speaking of Groundhog Day, Summertime Render. I've been meaning to make a review on this show. I really enjoyed it. Again, a Groundhog Day story. I mean, what's different about this one though is that like whenever he goes back to the beginning, like it goes forward and forward each time. Wherever he ends up, like that kind of solidifies his decisions at a point. Super crooks. You could tell me this takes place in the same world as like Invincible or The Boys, and I'd believe you. I love the idea. You know, we have superheroes and all that stuff, but super crooks. Solid story, solid dub. Suzume. I need to rewatch it. When me and my friends saw it in theaters, we unintentionally saw it in English, which, I mean, the dub wasn't too bad. It wasn't like cringe, but I would like to watch it more in Japanese, which, I mean, it's on Crunchyroll now, so I can watch it. I don't know, I just haven't gotten around to it. The melancholy and the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. Traumatizing, honestly. The Endless Eight will be something I never forget, as a reminder that that's how you do not do a Groundhog Day story. But aside from that, phenomenal dub. Again, main character voiced by Crispin Freeman. It was very weird hearing him in a role that wasn't action-oriented. It was fun. Fun supernatural take on a high school story. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. It's been a good while since I've revisited the Gurren Lagann. It's mecha anime, but it's so much more than that. High Rise Invasion, Yuri. I think. The magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. I can summarize this with one meme. Are you straight? Yes. I can fix that. Reincarnated as a slime. This is a series I fucking blew through in like a couple days because my friend like called me at one point. She's like, hey, do you want to go see the Slime Red movie or whatever? I literally just started watching Reincarnated as a Slime. It's just like, well, you got 2 days. Say less. I think Slime's pretty good. I like the idea of like showing someone starting from nothing and literally creating a civilization. And I'm looking forward to seeing season 3. God of High School. Love the first half where it was just martial arts fighting and then they turned it into demons, supernatural stuff, and did not like that. Tomo-chan's a girl. Loved it. I like the tomboy romance. Over the Moon for You. Overrated, in my opinion. I like the idea, but Toradora. Phenomenal romance. One of the best tsunderes ever. Trigun. People, for some reason, give the original shit. I still haven't watched Trigun Stampede yet. I've heard it's really good, but I personally still think the original is really fucking good. I think people give it too much shit. I've never been able to say this correctly. Tsundere. I've always just said tsundere children. I had to rewatch it. It was fun. Oh my god. Do you love your mother and her 2-hit multi-target attacks? The Mother Isekai. No. Usagi Drop. Traumatizing. Anime is good though. Don't read the manga. Uzaki-chan wants to hang out. Pitties. Vinland Saga. One of the best stories ever written. A show that has sparked so many themes and characters and everything that I'll never forget. True warrior doesn't need a sword. You have no enemies. No one deserves to be hurt. Are phrases that I will continue to preach and hold on to for the rest of my life. Violet Evergarden, I personally think is Kyoto's best animated and drawn show. And though I'm kind of still iffy about the ending of it, having rewatched it fairly recently, I thought it was fucking beautiful. It's something I'd still come back to every once in a while. I've talked about some of these before. Wodokoi Love is Hard for Otaku. Fun rom-com. It's insanely popular. Yeah, it was good. Wasn't shit. I'm not shitting on it, just I've seen better. Bloom Into You, one of the best romance anime ever. Well, specifically romance manga, because the anime didn't cover enough, even though that is where my love for it started. I still didn't make a review for it because I fucking love it so much. Oregairu, oh my god, I've revisited it fairly recently. I really want to redo my review for it because I did that review so quickly and just kind of barely even talked about it. Oh my god, such a good romance story. Imagine Love is War, but more serious, I guess. Oh, Promised Neverland, man. Season 1 is such a good show, and I really hope they make a season 2. Sing Yesterday for me, a friend put me on this a long time ago. He really loved it. When I watched it at the time, I was just like, I can see why you like this. For me personally, it's whatever. Oh my god. Yofukashi no Tai, aka Call of the Night. I swear I saw a thing where season 2 is either just started production or it's coming out soon. Either way, can't wait for it because, oh my god, I've never forgotten about Yofukashi no Tai. So good. Yes, I have watched this. I've watched Eromanga since I have Orimo. Of course I've watched this. I'm not saying that says something about me. So this show is hentai, but it's hentai with different routes. And one of the routes is incest. And that's why people remember this. Saga of Tanya the Evil. Music is so good. The show was good. The movie was great. I cannot wait for there to be more of it, because I think season 2 was said to be coming out at some point. I swear I saw a poster. I can't wait. I've talked about most of these. Zombieland Saga, a show I kind of breezed through. I liked the start of it, like Oshinoko, but the girls are zombies. And yeah, that's the end. The rest of this is stuff I've dropped, so yeah, look at that. And then this is stuff I plan to watch, but probably will never actually watch, because at this point I'm trying to be more on stuff I know gonna be good. But either way, this was my speed run, sort of, even though this definitely was not fast enough, and also just me covering everything that's on my MAL. I know this isn't gonna age well, because obviously I'm gonna be still adding stuff to my MAL every like single day at this point. But yeah, all that to say, anime is great. Thank you all for joining me on this. I'm Lancer. Thanks for watching.